Hello, my name is Andy and I am the Village Idiot. I'm armed with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. I'm using that time to attempt to visit every civil parish in England. You're watching the Derbyshire Dales series. The Dales contain some of the most beautiful British scenery. It's a magnificent area. Here's one of its 109 civil parishes. Hello out there, folks. Now, a few weeks ago, as my regular viewers will know, I was ill and I couldn't get to York, which left me 3 videos short in my complicated schedule. Well, when all else fails, come to the Dales. We're back in the Derbyshire Dales this morning and we're in a tiny place called Grindlow. Here's my disclaimer for people who may be watching me for the first time. I say things as I would in my native accent and dialect. As a result, I may not pronounce things in the same way as the locals do. Remember, I'm a visitor. It's impossible to know everything. Leave me a comment, spin me a like, and bash that subscribe button. Let's get to today's parish video. Okay folks, for the next 3 episodes in the Dales, we're going to be exploring some tiny settlements, ones that really show what life in the heart of the Derbyshire countryside is like. Welcome first of all to Grindlow. Now I have to say before I even start walking around this one that this drive-in you're currently watching only covers part of Grindlow. The second half is actually part of Great Hucklow. The reason for that will become clear in the Great Hucklow episode. Both villages, together with Little Hucklow, are managed by one parish council. The 3 are inexorably linked together. Grindlow is the smallest of the 3. It's a hamlet of a dozen or so houses and farmsteads and lies within walking distance of Great Hucklow. It's a familiar stop for groups of walkers passing through from Foolow, Wardlow and Abney. At its centre lies Grindlow, a small limestone knoll surmounted by a few trees. There's also 2 Bronze Age burial mounds near the footpath to Foolow. Grindlow was a mining village for many centuries. After the demise of mining, agriculture remained as the principal form of income. Today, with demand for rural property high, Grindlow finds renewed prosperity, but only a handful of residents depend on agriculture, and the lead mines are, of course, long gone. This is a short walk, less than 20 minutes, but the scenery out here is fabulous. Let's go and see it. We begin on Grindlow's one and only properly paved road. This doesn't have an official name, but we'll call it Main Street. With only a dozen or so houses, landmarks are hard to come by. This house, though, is somehow related to a former chapel. On a stone wall opposite, there's a wall-mounted George VI postbox of a style rarely seen so far on this channel. This is Chapel House Farm Stables, a magnificent 5-bedroom barn conversion occupying a central village position. Literally steps away from all of this is a wonderful view into the Dales. Here we're looking southwest towards Tideswell. Despite being small, Grindlow packs a punch when it comes to property. There are some seriously big, expensive houses here. The road eventually begins to bend towards Foolow. This is really where the village kind of, well, stops. At this corner there's a parish notice board, and that means you can all mark Grindlow off the Derbyshire Dales list. Now, believe it or not, there's not really much more to see than what I've already shown you. I'm stood on the end of a footpath, and we're going to follow this footpath back up into the village and catch a few other bits and bobs that there may be. But Grindlow is so small, it's tiny. It's one of those places that's so small, if you drive through it, you blink and you miss it. And that's why I've decided to incorporate this into a longer continuous walk with the next village over, which will be a separate episode, but for me it's just one continuous walk. So I'm going to head towards that village and see what else Grindlow has got on the way. Just before we go up that footpath, I opted to go a little further beyond the triangle where the road bends. That gave me another look at the gorgeous lush scenery surrounding Grindlow, and this is looking southeast towards Foolow. With all this attractiveness, Grindlow can offer the avid camper some accommodation, the family-run Derbyshire campsite. This welcomes motorhomes, camper vans and tents. It's a peaceful base to enjoy the natural beauty of the Dales. Now let's head back the other way and go up that path. On the way we pass by a couple more large but pretty houses. I was to discover that the path goes through some private property, not really ideal for filming. I opted to skip back to the road. Now I have got Nikki with me this morning, and Hannah, who currently doesn't want to be on the camera and is trying to...
Which is fine.
Trying to drink a drink as well at the same time, which wouldn't look great on the camera, would it? So yeah, Nikki is here. Hello, Nikki. Fun fact for you, every single Derbyshire Dales episode that I've done so far has involved Nikki in some way. Just in a couple, you were in the car, weren't you? And yeah, left me to it. So everywhere in the Dales that I've been so far, Nikki has seen too, which is quite a feat, and you're going to be seeing two more as well as this one today.
Well, you hope.
What do you mean, I hope? I know. What do we think of Grindlow?
It's lovely, it's very peaceful. I've seen quite a bit of wildlife already. We've seen a robin, we've seen some swifts, we've seen obviously wild and farm animals. I'm just always on the lookout for squirrels and rabbits and stuff. So it's a quaint little place. I like it.
Tiny though, really, really small. Yeah. And we're virtually at the end, to be honest with you, because now we're going to walk down the hill past this here, Rose Farm. Some kind of machinery is made there. It says
it's Peak District
Canine Massage and
Hydrotherapy.
Ah, sorry, I thought it said machinery there for some strange reason. Peak District Canine Massage and Hydrotherapy. So the dogs are looked after out here apparently. So yeah, we're going to come down the hill, and this will take us into Great Hucklow. I think it's about a 5-minute walk into Great Hucklow, and then we'll continue this walk there. But for now, that has been the parish of Grindlow. Very small place, and I do hope you've enjoyed it, because I know I have. We're not quite done yet though. As we've already discussed, mining for lead was a thing out here, and Grindlow's boundaries partially cover a former mine. In the northeast of the parish is Silence Mine. Like many other nearby mines, it was originally started in about 1685, exploiting the rich Hucklow Edge vein under a shale outcrop east of Great Hucklow. The mine was reopened in the late 19th century by the Mill Dam Mining Company at a time when their reserves at their main site at Great Hucklow were depleted. The mine was equipped with a steam engine for both pumping and winding. Small amounts of lead ore were produced here, but it was never really a viable venture. In 1886, the mine shaft collapsed in spectacular fashion, leaving a large hollow around its top. An excavation took place at the mine between 2008 and 2010, the results of which can be seen at the Peak District Mining Museum in Matlock, Bath. Silence Mine is now a heritage site. Thanks for watching this video, folks. Don't forget to like this episode if you haven't already. It really makes a difference with YouTube. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and give us a share too if you've got friends who'd like it. You can find all the links to my social media accounts below, as well as my Buy Me a Coffee page where you can donate to the channel. Also, if you've enjoyed this episode, have a look at some more videos in this series. Until next time, I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I'm out.